guys, welcome back to another video. It's less than 2 weeks now until Christmas and I want to make some nutcrackers. I started wood carving at the start of the year. You might have seen some of my carvings on Instagram, but I made these little gnome men and ladies. The last couple of days I've been finishing off this little nutcracker and I think he's so cute. He's got the little gold details and the little soldier hat. There's his boots. Here's a nutcracker that I didn't make, I bought, and he actually works. I will not be making mine functional as that's a bit tricky and beyond me, but I will be making more of these, as many as I can make or until I have enough of it. I don't have too much wood yet left though. This is balsa wood, it's ridiculously light, so I don't think I'm going to use this. This one I might try. I believe it's cypress wood. Tried like test carving it and it carves pretty well, like hard enough that there are clean smooth edges but soft enough to carve. And what I made my nutcracker from, as well as a lot of my other pieces, is basswood, which is apparently one of the best woods for carving. I do have these 2 pieces left from when I bought the line, so I'm not sure whether I should try and make 2 short nutcrackers or just one tall one and some other little trinkets. I think the second, I think I'll try and make just one kind of like him, and from the offcuts I can make more of these. This is another little Christmas carving that I've been doing. I thought on all these, if I put little hooks at the top, I could hang them on a tree. As far as the tools that I use, it's just this. I have this flex cut carving knife. I do have some other hand tools now that you can like scoop out wood with and make more V cuts. But as I know, because I carved everything else with just this knife, they are not necessary. So if you're interested in getting into it, you just need a knife and something to sharpen it. This is what I use to sharpen. It's just a block with leather on it and some of this compound stuff that you rub on it, and then you do the whole stroping thing where I just run my knife back and forth. One more thing I want to add is that I didn't actually design this. I followed a tutorial of sorts where I just watched this guy make this, and I loved his colors that he used as well, so I just copied it. I did find that it was very similar to how I make the gnomes, so for the next ones I will just wing it and change some things and see how we go. But I will link his video down below so you can see where I got my inspiration. And without further ado, let us carve. So I thought I would start with something easier, which is to make a couple of these from my little offcuts. All you do is make an X on each of the sides, and then this whole section here is what we're going to remove at an angle like this and like this. I forgot for a second, but I always wear these. Some little protection for my thumb of my right hand, and then I also put this on my gloved left hand. And even though I like the idea of being free and doing this just without any protection, I also am very attached to my fingers for all the arts and crafts, and it certainly makes it easier to carve. Like I feel freer, like I can be a bit more broad with my movements and not worry that I've got my little pinky in the way, you know. And yeah, so that kind of thing is what you're going to do on every single one of these. I am going to take some sandpaper to them to fix up some of this munched up wood. Because the wood's so soft, it can be a little fibrous with such a small carving. Christmas star ornaments, and I think I will get get started on my nutcracker. Now we've got them in cylinders so we can carve them into the nutcracker. Decided to make this guy a little more stern, so I'm going to make his beard and mustache a bit more like this. And I made a little mistake and nicked a bit out of this part of him, but I think I can fix that just by smoothing it out. I just finished the large nutcracker. He has quite a few more details than the other ones. I gave him lines for his hair and the little shoulder tassels. I think he looks very lovely. He's just gonna stand instead of hanging on the tree, like on my desk or something. And that's it, I'll get ready to paint them unless I can find more wood that will work for another nutcracker, because I would like to have 3 hanging on the tree. So I made one more little one for the tree. This guy is special because he is the king. I gave him one of those lovely crowns some of the nutcrackers have. He can rule over his 2 soldier men. And I ended up carving this guy, the king, out of poplar wood. So these are all made from basswood, and the poplar was a little harder to carve, but I think he held the shape a little more. I think they all match pretty well, and they're similar weights. The poplar is a little heavier, which I also like. Now what I'm going to be doing before I paint them is oiling them with this linseed oil that I use for my oil paint. The reason to put the oil on is just so the paint doesn't soak into the wood as much. Right now the wood is very dry, and when we oil it, it will be a lot nicer to paint on and finish off. So all I do is just stick my brush in the oil and just brush it all over, and you can see the wood turns darker. So that's the colour before the oil, and this is after. You can see the different colour of the poplar wood compared to the bass, maybe. This one's a little lighter when I oil it. So I will leave them to dry before painting, usually overnight, but it's such a dry and hot day today, so they'll probably just take a couple hours, and then I will paint them all up to look pretty like this guy. Alright, here are all the nutcrackers and stars we're going to paint, and I'm going to be using acrylic paint, just watered down, to paint them. we are finished, and here are the little nutcrackers for the tree. It did take a lot of work, but I so love how they turned out. I finished them off by drilling holes and putting these little eyelet things in, and then putting some ribbon on them to hang them on the tree. And then we have the big one, which I love the most, probably because I put a bit more detail into him. I was kind of inspired by Barbie Nutcracker, his eyes, to give them a little more sparkle and life. So I didn't put a hook in him because he's just going to stand on the desk or table and watch me. And then lastly we have all the stars. Those are also going to hang on the tree, and I'm happy with all my little carvings. And the finishing coat of the beeswax stuff that I put on them makes them smell so good. Thanks very much for watching this video. Wishing you all a merry Christmas, and I'll see you in 2024. Bye!